Hi, I'm Vince Weston, and hopefully this video will go up on September 23rd, the first day of autumn, so that I can say I concluded my ice cream builds here. At this point, the ice cycle I finished about a week ago. I'll give you a little spin here at a distance to give you a little view of this. Once again, this is a 1/12 scale kit, and it went together pretty well. I didn't have very many problems with it. I finished it about Grandparents' Day, so it's been out making money for me. The Grandparents' Day, of course, was September 13th, in case you don't know, because you're not a grandparent. And I'm not. But anyway, a last-minute change I went into with this was actually on the top here, as you see. I was kind of unimpressed with pictures I had seen where everybody had this flat and they'd prop this up with a stick, and there was a body line running right down the middle. I said, gee, you know, most of these things would probably flip. So I decided to make mine flip. So, and it actually kind of stays. I built a bar for it too, but doesn't really need it. I ran down to my local Hobby Lobby, and over in the wood section, they have these brass plated hinges. That's kind of what it looks like. This is the 1 3/4 inch one. They have them smaller than this, but I wanted to have basically a single piano hinge on it and not multiple, so I got the longest one I could find. And split the top, and then just basically installed it inside. I know it's white on white, and it's probably not too easy to see, but that allowed me to have the capability of, we can flip it up like this, or we can flip it up like this. So we were able to get at the scoops and the novelties that are inside a little faster by not having to lift the whole lid. The other thing I decided to do was a little detail piece, which kind of takes this out of the box. And let's see if this thing will show up. I made my own ice cream cones in a package. Most of these are faked, and I used Glad press and seal for the packing. About up to about here, where my top of my left thumb is, are just basically rings and wrapped and painted. If I can get this one out. I made a few actual cones. They are technically waffle cones. Being a smoker, the inside paper that surrounds the cigarettes inside the pack has a pattern to it, and actually it's silver foiled on one side and paper on the other. And what I did was I put the paper to the outside, rolled it around a pencil end, and then I painted it all up with a nice honey brown craft acrylic to give it that nice piece or appearance. And those sit inside my little piece there, and of course the scoop is there. Let's see, I should probably, let's do it this way. Hopefully you can see that. They sit inside the bed with the two buckets, one open with the scoop in it, and the other one closed. That's the vanilla. Actually, if I had my druthers, it'd be chocolate chip mint, but that's another story for another day. So, there I was able to get that completed, got them out, got out of my little thing here, and went and started selling my ice cream. So, triple scoops for everybody. Alright, so we'll give this a little quick spin around and give you a little bit of a better look. I'm going to see maybe... Let's see if I can pull that up a little bit. Some of the odder features of the kit. The pedals went in no problem. As you can see, I painted the pedals red to match. One of the more strange things I did was the top red stripes are actually craft acrylic cherry red, which is a little bit darker. And when I put the decals on, I noticed that they were more of a brighter red. So the other remaining pieces of the body, which are the handlebar handles, the pedals, the seat, and the little filigree back here, I painted actually in craft acrylic primary red, which is a little closer. It's not quite as dark as the cherry red. The only real issues I had with this kit is putting the roof on. Just as a quick description, which probably isn't going to make a lot of sense, there are 4 pieces, which are chrome basically. 2, 3, 4 over here. 2 sit on the sides, 2 sit on the back, and they go up into the little roof and hold it in support. I had a bugger of a time getting them all lined up, and I'd say I probably spent better part of an hour at least just getting the roof on. It may have even been longer. I don't count my time that much. But it finally worked out in the end. And as you can see, I guess I'm a little off camera here. You know, it looks good. I'm pretty pleased with it. So, and you know, but truly, it was not really any problems that I had, and I built out of instruction order, so it wasn't any problem to change anything I did. Of course, I made sub-assemblies so I could paint, especially all the white, as you've seen in the previous videos about this. The other problem I had actually was that I wanted to, I don't know why, but in my total insanity, I decided that the little bells here, let's see if I can get even closer. No, that's just, oh, maybe. Oh, anyway, the little bells that go under the handlebars here, I did paint them gold, or sort of brass color. Actually, they're really gold. But anyway, in my silliness, I decided to drill them out, which of course you'll never see, but for my own benefit, from the underneath, they look more like open bells than a flat piece. So that was the problem I ran into. Actually was that they snapped off the little piece. I actually only had 2 that actually broke off, and I did wind up, and one of them was the big bell, and I wound up just drilling through it completely, drilling through the piece, and putting a little piece of wire in there and gluing it all back together, and it worked out fine. I probably could have cut them all off and drilled them all to, you know, give it that final touch, but like I said, I don't know why I was crazy enough to even bother. But so that one's done, and like I've said, he's been out making money for me. Triple scoops are $10.99 because they're delivered speedily through pedaling. I'm only kidding. And that was pretty well terrific and had no problems. Now the ice cream truck, at the point that I'm filming this, I'm into my about last day. It's actually September 22nd, about 11 o'clock at night, if you could see the little clock over here in the corner. But I haven't quite finished it, and the real problem I had was the glass. Everything I tried to do to get a nice future finish on it turned to garbage, and I wound up doing it probably 3 times and gave up on most of them. The other thing, as I'm kind of holding this up, and I'll bring it a little closer in a minute, the side windows, my original logo was done in gold, and I'll bring this a little closer with my big fat thumb in the way. I'll put that one down. And the problem that I ran into, this is actually on decal paper, and I don't know how well that's showing anyway. The problem I ran into is that gold on clear disappears. So I had to strip the decal off of the one piece of glass that I had put it on when I realized this, and change the color. And what I came up with was I went to a darker red. Let's see, I don't know how well this is all going to focus. As of course it doesn't really well. And of course my name is Expeditious Indulgence. Expeditious for fast, and Indulgence of course for ice cream, indulging in ice cream. But I did it anyway in a dark red. I also made them a little larger, and if this is showing up decently enough, it fit pretty well. One of the other things that actually occurred when I did this was the work I had done up on the top on the icicles kind of went kibosh too. So when I was stripping off all the future, because of course it was laid down with future and the the powders to give it the sparkle, but I redid them, and actually they came out a little better. They're a little bit more subdued than they originally were. They're really not as strong, so that I think it came out pretty well. It'll be more subtle. But anyway, at this point I'm waiting for these to dry. Then I can complete the body, which is sitting over on my workbench, and go from there. Oh yeah, this was the other thing I was going to show you, was this was the gold. I don't know how well that's going to come out. I decided to put them on top of the boxes, and I had them on there in gold already, and I was like, I'm not going to strip them off because I'll probably damage the paint or something trying to get them off. So I just left them alone. So we'll have gold on the buckets with the gold trim, and then red in the windows, which will show up a little bit better. So hopefully in part 2 of this video you'll see the final on the ice cream truck. So talk to you in a minute, which will probably be a day. And 24 hours later, here we are once again, and I barely made my deadline of September 23rd, first day of autumn. Hey everybody, it's first day of autumn, woo! Anyway, the ice cream truck is finished, and and I'll just give her a quick spin around. Came out pretty well. I'm really underimpressed by the kit itself. It's got some issues. Then again, it's an AMT from back in the 60s, so what would you expect, I guess. The back door's open. Woo. I've got my windows in. They took me about an hour to do, just the windows, to get them to sit properly. I also put my radiator hoses on, which are red also. Let me zoom in here. I guess that'd probably be a little helpful for seeing what's going on here. Let's see if I can get this lined up good enough. Okay, so radiator hoses, which probably can't see too well here. I'll have a picture or two here. The interior seat is, oh, well, I'll go back this way. The seats in the back are painted chocolate edges, vanilla middles, and there were dots on them, which of course I made strawberry to go with my Neapolitan color overall color scheme. The let's see what else. I don't know. Well, I've got the color, the frosted glass in. Of course, that was just silver. Oh, the steering wheel. That was the other thing I wanted to kind of point out. The steering wheel column here is actually another ice cream cone. And there's an ice cream cone for the hood ornament. So that's in its place right there. Once again, I'll try and put up some pictures that are a little closer. Final assembly was definitely a bear. Like I said, it's an AMT 60s kit, so of course it's gonna be a little bit of trouble. You'd have to expect that. It was kind of unwelcome, but what are you gonna do? So that's about the size of it. Once again, put up my pictures and get this video up so I can get this maybe up before midnight on the 24th. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Once again, I have no idea what my next project will be. I've got a couple ideas, and something started to scream to me from the stash. So we'll have to see, and maybe it'll be a surprise. And you know, I kind of did want to do the Halloween build, but I wouldn't have enough time to finish it by Halloween because there's too many Halloween things for me to do. So, like I said, we'll see you later. Take care of yourselves. Have fun. Bye.